is way more common than what people think. Like, especially down in the Miami market, man, forget about it. There's girls looking around for marks. I mean, everywhere, dude.
Yes,
And tricks like that.
Here, bro.
That's the game plan. That's the
yeah.
playbook, man. That's
Yes,
the playbook.
So the reason why this matters to me so much, like why I try and stay away from drama. That's the number one thing that I generally do. But this is the same. Have you watched Indian matchmaking, bro?
Have
The
I
TV
watched
show?
Matchmakers?
Indian matchmaking. It's a Netflix show. So obviously I did because it's like entertainment. It's literally about Indian matchmaking. And I've made videos on these topics before. I made videos on all these topics before. Why nice guys die lonely virgins? Why nice guys never get laid or some shit like that. I think it was why nice guys never get laid. Why cold approach leads to happier marriages. This is the prime example why cold approach leads to happier marriages. And I even pulled this up because this is being discussed now. I actually pulled up this podcast that I recorded on 2nd of Jan 2023. And the podcast recording is "Should you chase pussy or money first?" And I go into it with Derek More Plates More Dates and Chris Dudas on the one side, and I'm obviously on their side, versus these two other idiots that currently became huge, called Hamza and First Man. I'm not sure if you know these guys or not, but so the topic of discussion there was exactly what this donkey is doing in his life, is making money and clout and status, and hoping that the girl would just find that enough to respect him and value him, and be subservient or submissive or whatever, like, basically respect and value him and shit. And clearly getting money and clout and status didn't do shit for his self-respect or the respect for his woman to give him. She's treating him like a doormat. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this topic.
Yeah, I think cold approach is something that it just, listen, there's no guarantees in life, and no matter what we say
I
here,
can hear you right back.
Okay, so like if you do cold approach, it's going to be the best remedy to avoid situations like Akaash's. Like you're going to build up. Cheers.
Fun. Yeah.
You're going to build up a lot of confidence, experience. You're going to build character because you're going to learn how to face a rejection, confrontation. You're going to be challenged. You're going to push yourself. That type of activity builds tremendous amount of character. You have to persevere. Guys have no idea what to expect. They literally go out there expecting just Chad-like treatment immediately. Instead of, no, most girls, if you're not a Chad, like, you're going to get a lot of lukewarm responses. So it's going to require a tremendous amount of perseverance throughout and persistence. There's going to be plenty of times throughout a cold approach journey where you're going to have to do the wash, rinse, repeat, and persevere with the immediate, objections that you got to handle usually right up front. These guys have no idea. They literally expect that these girls are just going to get on their knees and start blowing them. And if they're not interested, if they don't start doing that, then they just eject and get out of the set. Okay, she didn't fawn all over me right off rip, so I'm just going to decide to leave. It's like, no, that's the beauty of cold approach. You get to learn these skills. You have to persevere. You're gonna be able to avoid situations like Akaash is in right now, because this guy literally had no experience, to his own admission, no experience whatsoever. How the hell do you expect to hold down and maintain a girl that has way more experience than you? Honestly, that's what drove me to do my first boot camp. I had two really shitty relationships with older women. And one of the older women, we had this conversation about sexual experience and our past. And she was honest with me and said, like, oh, I have 60 plus partners. And I was blown away. I was like, didn't even know that shit was possible. I was single digits at the time. And I was like, holy fuck. I tried to downplay it as if it didn't hurt.
Yeah,
like,
that's what we always do. Yeah, I got more.
Yeah, I downplayed it, like, no big deal, baby. I still love you. But it just always ate at me. Ate at me. I'm like, how could I? She also had 10 years on me, and I'm appreciate that she was honest. But eventually I was like, damn, man, I need that experience. I just ultimately need that experience. I'm in New York City. I'm in a great era where, before social media blew up, and, the PUA stuff was just starting to take off, really. It was in its beginning stages, Mystery and all these guys, Brad P. And my bodybuilding mentor actually, he got out of a bad breakup and just so happened to
Was that
kind
Dave
of
or was that somebody else?
know my
Oh,
Dave's friend, the guy, the juice guy, so to speak, where he was the gear
okay.
guy, and he
Okay. Okay.
basically we became friends because I was out there all the time, and he was
Mhm.
like, "Yo, you want to do this pickup boot camp with me, man? I think it would be really good for us. We should try it." So he basically convinced me. It wasn't a hard sell for me because I was like, "Yeah, I need to do something. I need to make some sort of change. I'm open to it." I didn't really know anything about the industry, but he was reading a bunch of books and he was really into it. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
that was the start of mine. But I was kind of, everybody has their own Akash story that
Yes.
drives them to either
Yes.
keep suffering or make a
Yes.
massive
I'm so
change,
glad that you
man.
brought this up. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm so glad you
everybody's
brought this
got
up.
their own Akash story, man. And
Okay. So,
that was mine, dude. I was spending seven. I mean, all my older, wiser friends could see that I was getting dog walked, by these
yeah.
girls.
Wait,
Like, and
so
I just was
their girls, sorry, the guys, girls, your friends, guys, girls were
no,
seeing
like
that you get?
my friends, some of my older, wiser friends. They knew
Oh,
that I
I
was
see.
in a
I see.
relationship
I
with a
see. I see.
very
I
an
see. I see. I
older,
see.
manipulative girl that they were warning me, like, dude, do
Yeah.
not
Yeah. Yeah.
take
Yeah.
this
Yeah. Yeah.
woman to
Yeah.
Hawaii, dude. Like, I bought a $7,000 put on my credit card at a 19-year-old kid to a
Jesus.
vacation to Hawaii, dude. My parents were furious,
Yeah.
furious.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everybody saw it. The writing was on the
Yeah.
wall. She had already moved on. The vacation was terrible. Like I
Yeah.
ended up
Yeah. Yeah.
going
Yeah.
through it with blinders on, hoping to salvage it like a little puppy dog. And it
Yeah.
was
Yeah. Yeah.
just, you need to get walked over sometimes to make
Yes,
the
you do.
big,
Yeah.
big changes, man. So
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Dude, it's funny you brought up the whole story thingy, right? And here's I think what happens is there's two ways to like go across think about a challenge or something like that. And this is the part that fucking keeps pissing me off because I try and explain the technical specifics. How do you cold approach? How do you gain muscle? I'm trying to explain the stuff, the process stuff to do. And so many of these guys are the zeroth step before all these actionable steps where they don't even believe they can get results or it's worth it or the world is against them or I am Indian and I am short and I am this and I don't have money. All the stupid shit in their fucking head is holding them back from doing the fucking work that you need to do to get the goddamn results. Because you could, and this is not even like a hypothetical. When I started dating my girl first, and when I started cold approach, I was living in an apartment where the rent was 400, not apartment, in a room, in a fucking broom closet room, where my room rent was 450 Canadian. You gotta imagine in today's day and age, 450 Canadian. I would do this, and I would touch the walls, right? Because I would have this desk, and this desk was attached to my bed, right? So that's the place that I had, and I was not barely making any money, and blah 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 blah. And I was like, no, I'm just going to go out and start doing cold approaches. And it took me a while, but by the 80th cold approach, I got my first lay.
Nice.
Right? Yeah. And because I was doing it by myself, purely looking at TORV videos and shit, I wasn't pushing myself. I was doing one cold approach every 3 days. If I was lucky, three cold approaches in a week, some stupid shit like that. And I'm like, I tell my guys, bro, get out of here, put a fucking stopwatch on for at least 30 minutes, if not 2 hours. Go to fucking downtown this, go to Central Park this, go to this, whatever the fuck is a public fucking place. This big malls, there's huge malls here that everybody goes there. Fucking go, put on a stopwatch, and you will not stop talking to girls that you see. 3 second rule, go, 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 go. If you do that for 2 hours, I speak to 25 plus girls.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I was
It's
started it off, I took me 3 months because I would do 5-10 approaches. I would go back home and start crying again. Then I'll go back again after 2-3 weeks, go back home and start crying again. You know what I mean? Like, and it took me 80 approaches to get my first date. Had I done that in the first week, I would have had a date and possibly date or whatever, right? But my brain would have been like, oh shit, I've been crying over nothing for so fucking long. Right? This is
So
not
your
that
point
fucking
is
difficult.
what, that you were used to the misery, you liked the misery or something? You were, or
No,
like
no,
you,
I back. Actually, you're right because I got kind of tangented on this topic. It's like this dude Akaash Singh never had just like everybody, like you at the start and me at the start or whatever. That's why I pulled this up. So I'll bring it, which you can't see. But I have this thing about I was in a relationship. It went long distance, and then me and her both were kind of like terrible to each other. And she did stuff back at home. I could not take that, and I was miserable for a while, and I didn't do anything for a while. So you know, like how everybody has a rock bottom story or some shit. That was my rock bottom story at 29, being with this girl who I thought I was gonna be with and end up with and everything, and she ended up doing shit that was I could not handle, and
Yeah.
that's what pushed me into action. Right, but these guys don't do that shit. They don't fucking push themselves into action. They stay defeated. And with for Indians, it's the thing about matchmaking. My when I was complaining to my parents, I was like, guys, people are racist here, or they don't look at me this way. They don't. Blah, blah, blah. My dad actually said to me, you know what? If it's really that bad, we'll get you hitched up. We'll get you hooked up with someone. And I was like, no. I was like, it's okay. I'll figure it out, you know, because that's what we do in the Indian background shit. We do that shit because it's just accepted defeat. And okay, I'll go for the easy solution, which is what this retard did. He didn't challenge himself. He didn't go out and start talking to girls. He didn't get any experience. I don't know. Do you know if it's an arranged marriage or not for this guy, or do you not? I have no idea.
It's not a. I don't believe. No, it's not an arranged marriage. In fact, she was dragged to one of his comedy shows, and she met. She was a fan. She became a fan, essentially, and they started mingling like in in an elevator together, and they walked with each other. He got. I don't know the whole backstory, but it definitely wasn't an arranged marriage. You know, she got dragged to his comedy skit, and
Okay.
they
Okay.
yeah.
Listen, I don't know what the truth is, but I will tell you what I feel is the truth. Is also, especially Indian NRIs today's day and age, they do not mention that it is an arranged marriage, even if it is, because it is looked down upon, etc., by me, like people like us. And yeah, I kind of do look. I'm not saying they can't have successful marriages, but I look down upon it. I'm like, I feel like a guy should go out and get his own woman and money and resources and all and network. I feel like a man should be able to do all that shit.
You
So
said because your own experience and you're from an Indian family that it almost was like if it gets so bad, it was it felt like conceding defeat, right? So
yes,
so
yes,
they were going to set you up essentially. And
yes,
there's
yeah,
Indian guys that I went to high school with that did get an arranged marriage, and they wear it proudly. Actually, they're not ashamed of it, but
no,
some
yeah,
guys
yeah,
do. Yeah.
brother. One of my best friends, who I will not mention who, etc., he's lived here. He came here before me. He studied here. He lost his virginity to girls here at colleges and universities and stuff. And then he did date a lot of girls here. And I assume he dated a lot of, I'm sure he dated white girls. I know for a fact he dated an Asian girl. He may or may not have dated a black girl. He was back at the time when Tinder was starting off, so everybody was getting results on Tinder. So he did the online shit, and he played with money. He would go on $100 dates. That was his thing. He did that thing. But at the end of it all, after dating, not being a virgin, not being an incel, he's married to a woman that his mom hooked him up with.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's not I'm not saying that's an L. That's not what I'm saying. He's good. But what I'm trying to say is it is a thing in Indian culture, is like it's a very understandable thing. The parents do hook you up if you want to be hooked up like that. So even the guy that wasn't an incel, didn't have this thing, also did the same shit. Right? So that's a very, very, very much a thing. The problem or the issue for me is, are you happy doing that or not? And I wasn't. I didn't want to get hitched because of what my parents had to speak to their parents, because then they're selling me, as opposed to me just being me, meeting a girl, and you're like, and the girl's being like, okay, I really like you, Ketan. I really want to be with you. Right? They're selling me, oh, my son is a doctor. My son makes this money. He's in the fucking US. He has this PR. Fucking nonsense. They're selling the shit that I have, as opposed to my son's a legend. Go on a date with him, and that's not what they say, obviously, but but that would be the thing, right? It's like I'll be like, I would be like, this is me. Let's go out on a date. She gets to know you. She starts falling in love with you, and then she wants to be with you, right?
Exactly, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
My girl,
And
who I'm
listen,
dating right now.
that's why,
Yeah,
man.
go ahead.
I'm so fascinated to know like how their first date went. What did she just see him strictly as a mark? She must have knew he had money. I don't know if
Yeah,
he leaned into
of course,
money.
because he
All that
already
stuff.
had
Yeah,
clout, and I would assume to some extent. I have no idea.
yeah. No, he
That would
did.
be- I
He
have no
definitely
idea.
did have clout. He
Okay,
did have
if he
clout.
did have clout and status, then yes, then she probably did see that shit and
Yeah,
was
yeah.
attracted for that shit, right?
Like I was saying
Uh,
earlier, I don't know if it was recorded on this one. This shit is way more common than what people think. Like, especially down in the Miami market, man, forget about it. there's girls looking around for marks. I mean, everywhere, dude.
Yes,
And
yes.
tricks like that.
Here,
That's
bro.
the game
I'll
plan.
tell you in a
That's
second.
the
Yeah.
playbook, man. That's the
Yes,
playbook.
yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I have Z's, right? He's here. Yeah, I have my dog, right? And obviously, I take him out for a walk and pee and poop and all that shit every day. One of these days, it's 3, 4 months ago or something, I was in my fucking pajamas and shorts, like chappals and nonsense. I mean, fucking nothing, right? And I'm walking past, and there's a very high end restaurant right here, $200 plus fucking meal, blah blah blah, very very high end restaurant. See these two cute girls, they're definitely drunk. See these two cute girls and they're fucking around and having fun with their car or something. And I use my dog as the cold approach opener. I was like, oh, my dog wants to say hi. You know, cold approach, start chit chatting and shit like that. The girl I approach is into me, 100%. And so then when it comes to like taking her number or some shit, her friend says to me, oh, do you have money? Like, where can you afford to take her or some shit? Something like that. Like, what do
Oh,
you
yeah.
do? Yeah. Her friend, Mike, this girl likes me. The one I actually cold approach was into me totally. Obviously, I can tell by now. I have experience. This girl stopped her from giving her number to me or some shit because she was like, what do you do? She only goes on high end dates or some stupid shit. I don't remember, 6 months ago. And I'm like, look at me, girl. Like, I have fucking shorts on, pajamas on, chappals on, nothing's designer. All my money, I would much rather spend on this guy. No, I don't have any money. You know, I just said, yeah, I was like, no, I don't. You know? But it was so weird. I'm living in a fucking, I'm living in a, yeah, I'm living in a comfortable city here where all the kids have money because their parents have money. I'm sure that was her. All the kids have
Yeah.
money because their parents have money. And so she was trying to find, or at least her friend was trying to find someone for her to like latch on or, you know, put her hooks into or some shit. I'm like, dude, we just spoke and you're asking me about money? Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
because it's being pushed, man. Like it's now, Miami is the hotbed for this. Literally, girls know about this. It's got a reputation. Like when I go travel and coach guys in Philly, you have girls telling me like, "Oh, we're about to go down to Miami because we know where all the rich
no, yeah,
rich
yeah,
guys
yeah,
are." You're
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
this is like the epicenter. This is the hotbed for it. But you're
I'm
right. It's
glad you're
starting to
there.
bleed.
Yeah, yeah.
I know. I won't be here that much longer. But anyway.
Oh, I see.
I mean, you could get laid here. There's no doubt about it. But if you're looking for like actual long
Mm-hmm,
term
mm-hmm,
partners and stuff, it's not really ideal.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's funny that you said that because like now it's bleeding into some of these other markets too. You see it in Toronto. You'll see it from time to time. As much, it's just not as concentrated. Like it's so concentrated here, and it's in your face everywhere you look. But like you still get it now. It's so mainstream, that it's worldwide, it's global, like with Instagram, like with social media as a primary means of communicating. So this girl is, believe me, like your average normie now knows
I
about
know.
the Akaash Singh drama, you know.
Bro, you know what? I have so many guys reaching out to me about this Akash Singh thing. My,
Yeah.
the guy that I just told you about, one of my best friends who's married, arranged marriage, this guy, he texted me. He said, bro, he texted me, I should DM Akash Singh. And I'm like, why? And then I realized, oh, he's saying he needs my advice. He's trying to say he needs your fucking dating advice. Yeah, so that was a joke, bro. I've legitimately actually reached out to two of the Indian guys on Indian matchmaking. These motherfucking nice guys. Indian guys are fucking nice guys. Same shit with me too. And people confuse being a nice guy with being a motherfucking doormat. You can be a nice guy, and if somebody pushes your boundary, you can shut shit short. You don't need to get into a verbal fisticuffs. You don't need to get in an actual fisticuffs. You don't need to do anything. You don't need
Yeah.
to be an asshole, an aggressive jackass, but you can be a nice guy and still hold for your fucking boundaries. And this nigga does not know how to fucking do that shit. Clearly, none of these guys do. Because the nice guys bend over backwards to be liked by these women that they like.
I don't even, yeah, that whole term needs to be dissected, like nice guy, because yeah, and gentleman too. That's another word that like, yeah, I'm
No,
a
I am a
gentleman, but
gentleman, brother. I am a gentleman.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like, when you peel back the layers, a lot of the like, if you want to label Akash a nice guy, for example, like there's gonna have tendencies of like he's really, really bitter and upset inside, and he's unable. He's bought into 100% hook, line, and sinker what society has sold to him. You
Yes,
know, don't
yes.
do this,
The
don't do
politically
that.
correct. Yes, yes.
For it, for pander to women. You know,
Pander
don't
to
worry.
women. Yes.
It's a matriarchy. It's like the girl first, just everything. And he bought it hook, line, and sinker, and he's getting the results of a girl who actually it's against nature. It's against her. She's not supposed to be the masculine one of the partnership, right? Or the marriage. And she is the masculine one. So she's
Yeah, yeah.
dominating him. He's not asserting his dominance. That's evident. I don't need to know anything else about the relationship. I could just tell that guy is not asserting his dominance. Literally, that
Yeah.
girl would have got backhanded by like even a normal guy, just like, yo, what are you fucking talking about? Telling
Yeah,
him to shut
I don't,
up, you
I wouldn't
idiot.
promote actually physically doing it, but what I actually mean is, because we're not in the age of Sean Connery anymore. But you're right, like verbally or not verbally or some shit, just like with behavior. If some chick acts like a retard, you're just like, what is wrong with you? You know, when you come back to your senses, we can actually talk or something like that, and then we go from there. Dude, I mean,
Dude, some
I
of
don't
it
know what you're
is
saying.
so
Yeah, go ahead.
obnoxious. Some of it is so obnoxious, like crazy. Where she know this has been going on for years. Like
Yes, I
this is
know.
not new. Like she's filming the fucking guy. He's got his hands on
Yes.
his thing in a closet, and she's like, this fucking idiot. Look what he did here, humiliating him, just
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, yeah.
publicly humiliating him.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Dude, you wouldn't believe this. So my girl and me are right now in a fight, so to speak. No jokes. Yeah, I mean, like obviously, like normal, fight on a fight which got really fucking heated, and the topic of discussion was this fucking cunt.
Really?
Yeah, she was trying to defend her in some way, shape, or form, or some shit. And but I'll tell you what though. I'll tell you what my problem, or say what the mistake I made is. She's 1 week out of her period, which is the blah blah. It's their luteal phase, which is where they lose their fucking minds and they become YouTube comment section bots. So there's no way you can win because you're talking to someone that doesn't have logic at this point. So I'm retarded that I engaged her in this at this point because this is what I do, a dating coach. I know what I'm talking about here. So anyway, so that's why we got into this fight. But she's trying to be like, oh, but we don't know what they're doing in the past, or we don't know their marriage must be over. That's why she's doing it now publicly. I'm like, no, this bitch is a nobody. She has always treated him like this. The reason why we know this is coming out, because what she was trying to say was, oh, we don't know what's happening behind closed doors, which in other words, aka, oh, he might be cheating on her. Oh, he might be doing something else to her. I'm like, this fucking guy doesn't have the fucking balls to talk to the fucking cashier at the store clerk. Get the fuck out of here. This fucking guy's cheating on her. He doesn't have anything. Fuck this guy. He can't do shit. So he's definitely not cheating on this girl for sure. Because he's also not signed a prenup. So he's going to get fucked 100%. So he would never do that shit. And I'm like, dude, that's not why she's doing it. Their marriage has always been like this. The thing is, nobody has given a fuck who this chick is because she's obviously a random bro chick. Nobody knows who she is. But she's using his fame to launch her podcast, to launch her own brand. That's why all this shit is happening, because her goddamn podcast just came out 3 months ago. And in the podcast, this retard didn't know what she's doing. And she just, imagine if I were to abuse my girl every day, right? I punch her in the face every day. And nobody knows that. But tomorrow I go on a podcast after 10 years and I'm like, I punch her in the face every day. Then that's when people find out this nigga is fucking abusive. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because to me, or in that abusive guy's head, it's normal. But when you go out and say it, you're like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you, you idiot? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, if some dude stabs everybody every day, nobody knows until you go out and say it.
Yeah, it wasn't even. She gave me the impression as if it wasn't even a big deal. You're right. It was like she was so nonchalant.
Yes, because she doesn't think it's a big deal.
She's an idiot. Right off her tongue.
She's an idiot. She thinks it's normal to treat men like that.
Yeah.
To break them down like that, to bring your husband, your man that you're supposed. That's the part that doesn't make any sense. Here's the part that doesn't make sense to me. Don't girls like grow up thinking about having a man and like a knight in shining armor and my man and all that kind of shit? So did she not grow up with that shit? Because why would you have your man that you're always looking up to having all your life and then tear him down like this? Publicly humiliate him like that.
Yeah, because that knight in shining armor shit is starting to. The shine is starting to wear off. It's not really planted in a lot of young girls' heads anymore. I think growing up, you know, in our era, really it was and stuff, but more and more these girls that are in their low 20s, teens, they're being conditioned totally differently. Like I think in college and their families and social media, they see girls examples like her where
Yeah.
no, to
Yeah. Yeah.
I think maybe also to let this girl off the hook a little bit and not give her 100% of the blame is Akash, this is also a woman will fall into your
Yes.
frame.
Yes.
So,
I'm so
and
glad you
your
brought that up. Go
girl's
ahead.
right to a
Go ahead.
certain extent. The girl is falling into his frame. I
Yes.
tell guys,
100,000%.